Hi everyone, it's me Nikki here. Hope you're doing great. Now, if you're anything like me, I am an office accessory junkie. I cannot stand pins like this or kind of cheesy, cheap looking office accessories. I love for my office accessories to be beautiful, and I'm going to share with you how to make a beautiful, beautiful accessory for your planners or your journals. So let's get rid of this ugly pin, and I'm going to show you how to make a gorgeous pin that can be a great partner for your planner or that journal. So let's jump right in. Okay, so let's start making our pen. Now, you have your pen kit here. Now, I order mine from two different places I have over the years. I'll put the links below for the resources that I use. They run about $9 and under, and you can get them on sale a lot of times. Now, I typically only order them online. I have not seen them in stores, places, but if you have, let me know, because I would love to know additional resources where I can buy these pens also. They come in gold, they come in silver, they come in all kinds of different colors. I tend to stick with gold and silver because I love the look. The bead pen is 3 pieces. You have your base pin here, you have this metal rod, and then you have your topper there. So now let's look at the metal rod. Now this is key here to get this right, because on the rod you can screw in from both sides. You have a smaller portion here, and then the other side is longer. Now this is key because you're going to screw the smaller portion into the base of the actual pin. And it's important that you get this right, because this is, if you don't, it can cause your pin not to operate properly. And so you just want to make sure to do that part correctly. And then after you do it, you kind of test it to make sure your pen opens and closes properly. Now I'm switching to the gold pen here because my planner actually has gold binding on it, and so I wanted to coordinate with my specific planner, but you can do whichever you have there. And so I'm just testing it to make sure it works before I put my beads on there. And so let's talk about the beads. You can get beads all over the place. You can get them from Michael's, you can get them from Tuesday Morning, you can get them online at Amazon, you can get them just everywhere. Now the key thing when shopping for your beads for the bead pins is they have to be wide hole beads, because they have to fit over that rod. And so when you're shopping for them, just look to make sure that they have that wide hole. Now a lot of times those kind of faux Pandora style beads I'm holding here, they work perfectly for this project, but you may not want to always have that certain look. So there are other beads out there that you can use that have, just make sure the hole is big enough to fit the rod and you're good to go. So it doesn't matter the type of bead, it's just the hole that is just so important, because it's not going to fit any other way. So it can be larger, it just can't be smaller, of course. And so when finding your beads, just kind of make sure about that. And you can get them, at Michael's, this whole set here for about $6, and use your 40% coupon, and then you can get them for a lot less, and all the beads come on this, so it's plenty enough for a pin. So here comes the creative part of this project. You start to pick about 6 to 7 different beads, matching it up with your planner or your journal, whichever you're trying to coordinate with. This is such a great project to do for a Mother's Day gift, great to do with your teenagers. How about a church women's group activity? This is just really a fun project to do. And so once you get all the colors and that you want to put together, then it's time to actually assemble your pin, which is so simple. You're basically just going to bead it onto the rod. Now sometimes I like putting a bigger piece first, and then I'll kind of put different ones on. But the great thing about this project is you can't mess up. If you don't like the way it looks, take them off, put them back on. The key is at the top here, you gotta leave at least a little bit of the screwed portion showing, so that you can screw your top on, because if you don't, you won't be able to do it. And the other thing is you can't leave too less, because it will have too many gaps in your beads, and the beads will kind of move around. So you have to at least go over the screwed part a little bit so that it'll be a tight fit. And so once you have all the beads on there, you want to then take the top part of your bead pin kit and then just screw it on. Now once you screw it on, you're going to have to kind of just work your beads around and straighten them up and make sure it's tight. The end result is you just don't want your beads to move around or turn or anything like that. And beads are all different sizes and shapes and things like that, so it's going to have a unique look and odd look here and there, but once you play around with it, you'll get it the way you look. And so when you're finished, you have an absolutely beautiful office accessory. You can do it in so many different colors, again coordinated with your planner, and it's just the perfect accessory for your planner or your journal. And then the great thing about it is next year when you get your new planner, if it's a different color, you don't have to buy a new pen. You can simply just take those beads off, put new beads on, and you're good to go. So that's what I love about it, is that just one pen that you can just make all kinds of ways. So it just really is a great project now. And like I said, I'll put all my resources that I know about, I'll link them in the description box below. But this is really just one of those projects that I love, and I love that I was able to share it with you. Also, I want to note that you can buy the replacements from the same places I buy my pens from, and they're very affordable. They're like $1 or $2. Sometimes you get them less than that, and they come in blue and black ink. So I hope you have enjoyed seeing this quick tutorial on how I make my beautiful partner for my planner. I hope you will give it a try. Please join me on Instagram and let me know if you do. I'll see you at the next video, and this is Nikki saying goodbye.